They say to lure me down what appears to be a trail. I seem to know enough about Terra, but not why I'm here. Why do they want to teach me about politics? I can't believe that I was brought here for that. They must only be thinking from their angle. It makes sense. They did go through a lot to get me. But now it's my turn for answers. Just keep up the pace. Walking and talking we'll have to do. We're on a strict schedule, you know. King Velasquez wants you by nightfall. That is, on the day the ritual succeeds. I get this feeling that they don't care. I don't think they want us to know the what. I think they want us to know the why. Isn't that right? I nod furiously. Well, King Velasquez calls you the Savior. Apparently Terra needs saving, though I couldn't tell you from what. He is secretive on that matter as well. I just know that he wants you, along with the fact that you're important. He foresees threats like this all the time, so I trust him completely. You're important. Velasquez says history repeats itself. One day he'll agree, another he won't. He flip-flops on a semi-daily basis. But I guess when you're as old as him, you can start to see a pattern in things. But there's no pattern with you. He's never sought help from another world. I guess you're an unknown variant, but I guess sometimes that's what we need. Correct. You're a mystery to me too. He doesn't tell us what power you hold, nor what you would be saving us from. So if that's what you wanted to know, regretfully, I must plead ignorance. I'm a savior? That's outrageous. I couldn't even do anything to save Clace. Hey Savior, did you catch the hint? Endymion wants to know what makes you tick. He wants to know why you're so special. I mean, we did dedicate our lives to you. We deserve to know the reason why. Conrad, don't be so demanding. And don't read into my words like that. Huh? I guess we're both on the same page. We're both on quest and don't know the reason why. We both know I'm the savior, but nothing else. I guess I'd have to get answers from this king. I'm not sure I want to know about the Ark, though. This Conrad is hinting that I should tell them my power? It might not be a bad idea to gain their... I urge you not to tell us. Oh. If we needed to know, we'd know. Velasquez wouldn't hide it from us. It's something that we can wait to learn. You're here for a noble cause, that is something I can guarantee. And that's all I need to know. Do you have anything else to ask? If it's something I can answer, I will. I stop and ponder. What else did I need to know? It seems like they know just as much as I do. Though I'm glad they didn't push me for information. I'm not sure that man would want me revealing my power. I know where I am. I know who these men are. I know where we're headed. I guess that should be enough for now. The majority of my questions were about Earth. For example, what happened to Clace? And the rest I would have to personally ask the king. I submit and shake my head. I guess I would have to wait. Patience will deliver all the answers I require. It shouldn't be much further now. We're making good time. Oh, Endymion. The form. We should probably fill it out now. Right. Form? Just a standard immigration form. Everybody near Terra must fill it out. It helps keep track of numbers, but also gauges your personality. It can help you find a suitable job. Not that you'll be needing a job. We know you won't be here permanently, but we can't give you any special treatment. To everyone else, you must be an immigrant. You've come here to start your life anew. We can't advertise who you really are. And if Lord Player were to see you with us, well, he'd expect the papers immediately. It's starting to feel more and more like Earth. Perhaps I'm not as homesick now as I was earlier. Endymion reaches into his pocket and pulls out a paper. And then what I assume is a Terran writing utensil. After a few minutes, he starts to write the stuff down. Devin. PsySpy. Off to a good start. We know your name. For the rest, just answer honestly. Or not. I guess it's your choice. Conrad looks at me and smirks. I know it seems silly, but laws are laws. And it also beats an awkward silence, especially when we're a long way from town. Would you like to save your game? Yes. Well, the first one is self-explanatory. Are you a boy or are you a girl? He's just humiliating and play him alone for now. Boy. And a good looking one at that. Starting the obvious, I guessed. A large corporation wants to hire you. Do you prefer a leading role or not? An Endymion or a Conrad, would you say? Follower. That's more like it. You have so much more freedom that way. You get held back the higher up you are. Red tape, restrictions, policies. A Savior would rather be a follower? I can't say I would have expected that. Anyway, moving on. Let's see here. Do you consider yourself skeptical? Or are you an easily trusting person? I think I know the answer to that one. I'm definitely a skeptic. Wait, I was wrong? It wouldn't be the first time, Conrad. Hey, that's not nice. I thought I'd get a pretty good read on him. Right. You're about to go to war. Would you prefer to attack or to defend? Oh, now we're digging a little deeper. Remember, there are no wrong answers. We're simply defining you on paper. To that end, what position would you prefer? Defensive. Well, you know what they say, something about a good defense. Not what I picked, though. But look at what I do for a living. Conrad, don't judge people's outlooks. It's only a recipe for disaster. Now, allowing us to move on. Would you like to take one life to save many? It's kind of work we do every day. You think you'd be able to do it? Take a life for the greater good? I'm not a killer. Really? You're supposed to be our savior? Sorrow Conrad's more assumptive nature. You can resolve issues without death. None of the fun ones, at least. Alright. We're almost done, I promise. You're running late for your destination. The path before you are as follows. The short but dangerous route, but a long but much safer route. If you take the long route, you may be late, but the short route may lead to your death. What route do you take? I'll take the long and safe route, meaning kind of like you're doing now. It's incredibly boring though. I'd love for something eventful to happen. And put the savior at risk? Why would that be a good decision to make? I didn't say it'd be a good decision, I'm saying it'd be the fun one. Conrad winks at me. I shrug it off. There's one more question, I promise. Besides, we're almost to town. About time. Prefer the company of others or prefer to be alone? Company of others. Let them know that I like the company of others. Glad to hear it. I was starting to think maybe you hated us. I know Endymion can get on people's nerves. That'd be pretty lame. After all the trouble we went through. Conrad! I apologize for his words. Etiquette is not in his curriculum. Where fortunately we have concluded. And not a moment too soon either. The town is just a few moments ahead. I know we can't make many detours, but we need to take hand in these papers. We'll make a quick stop and that's it. We should probably check our mail too. That's true. Kellen may have written. Endymion looks at me and sighs loudly. Guess you're in luck, Savior. You get to see the Wayfarer's Tavern. It's the hottest place to be on Terra. He's joking, of course. We just stay there sometimes. And we own one of their poster boxes. They serve drinks too. Conrad likes that. But really, it's an immigration office. They just need to spice it up a bit. True. Nobody likes mail in immigration. But everyone and their mom likes drinking. If you look ahead, you can see it. He points ahead and I see he's right. A small town coming into view. A bar that doubles as an immigration office? It sounded weird, but so does everything as of late. At least you can take care of two matters at once, handing in my papers and checking in their mail. Then maybe, just maybe, I can meet their king. He'd definitely have the answers I seek. Back on Earth. Deep in the night of Clace's death. I must admit it seems rather suspicious. But these midnight deaths? I never believed them to begin with, or rather, they were supernatural. The media loves to romanticize things. I'm sure many people die at midnight daily. But to affect one of my own idols, mere days before the debut of their tour? No, it has to be a coincidence. I'm sure. I don't know, Singe. Sir. Singe is fine. We're closer than that, Rocker. Alright. Social media exploded at Clace's death. Good luck playing it off as a hoax. The body bag was even on national TV. I'm not sure how we'll spin this exactly, but fans are starting to fill in the cracks. There's a lot of talking about it being a crazed fan. The work of a stalker, they say. It can't be. I've seen stalkers before, but much more erratic, not calculated. This has to be workings of a solar killer. If it was a murder at all, the stalker wants to possess, not destroy. So their end goal was Clace's murder? Absolutely not. That's self-centered. You must presume the killer of a soul act. The serial killer doesn't just stop. I had hoped this is an isolated incident, but the MO matches these midnight deaths, right down to the method of murder. It seems their goals have become more grandiose. If they aren't done, then who's next? That's what chills me the most. A larger target than a pop idol? What's wrong? I talked to Jade earlier tonight about these deaths. She mentioned they were all suicides. At least half of them looked that way. There was another half that was murder. No confusion there, gunshots and all. I was told that Clace died of asphyxiation, but there was no sign of a struggle. Do you mean... Absolutely not. There was no evidence left behind. If he took his own life, there would be. You can't just kill yourself and clean up. I'm very certain Clace was murdered. But it's these midnight deaths I doubt. Are we facing a serial killer? Or is this media making things up? These things could completely be isolated deaths. The time of death being the same isn't that odd. Guess that's true. But it's not just that. It's the time of death and method of death. A suicide with no evidence isn't suicide. So there are two groups then? Mysterious suicides and the murders? But I'm willing to bet they're both murders. You seem to have figured out a lot. I thought they'd keep Clace under wraps. I had to pull a lot of strings, but I'm glad you figured it out, Rocker. There aren't two groups, there's only one. This is assuming one major thing, of course, that we're dealing with a single culprit, and these aren't isolated in nature. So a murder covered up as a suicide, huh? Not very well either, it would seem. If they wanted to look at it like a suicide, why would they take the weapon with them? If Clace was found with a rope around him, none of us would be doubting this at all. But this is the same throughout all cases. I believe the police are jumping the gun. There's nothing that labels these suicides, especially in the light of one major fact. All of the victims are mentally fit. If we're dealing with a killer here, there's no way they're trying to trick us. They want us to know these aren't suicides. It's the police that are in the wrong. Or perhaps they are being manipulated. Thinking about this gives me a headache. Man, I wish I were in bed right now. I'm sorry for robbing you of sleep, I just didn't want to handle this alone. It's not our problem. Jade and Daz are outside as well. I'll stay as long as you need. Would you mind letting Jade in? We need to discuss press matters. We'll need to make a statement tomorrow. Absolutely. And Daz is here, you said? Please stay with her in the limo. And tell her what I plan to do with her. Roger. Moments pass. Hello again, Singe. I feel like it's been a while. Too long, I'm afraid. And not under the circumstances I prefer. Indeed. I'd always felt bad for Clace. How people were blaming him for the murders, just because the death started when we... Sorry, I shouldn't get into superstition. I just never would have guessed Clace's death would be what absolved him. People can't blame a victim, I mean. Indeed. And how do you think I feel? I didn't buy into these midnight deaths. I left him vulnerable, openly. I'm used to the media taking up trends, even in completely unrelated things. I should have been more cautious of this. I should have assigned more guard to him. Perhaps this could have even been avoided. I don't think guards would have helped, sir. Besides, have you worked on your alibi? Alibi? You were the last person to see him alive, and you two were in a heated argument as well. You should drop that line of thought, Jade. Failed accusations only hurt you in the end. The media will want to know it's not me. That is what you asked me here for, right? So we can decide what to tell the press? I suppose you're right. That and the changes we'll need to make. The tour must go as planned. The amount of refunds people will want, it makes me scared just thinking about it. Not to separate beasts entirely, but first, how about we address the death? I think you need to be blunt. You shouldn't be anything less than honest. Tell them what you don't know what happened, we're on the same page as everyone else, let them know we're cooperating with the police. It's important they feel in sync with us. We must not appear to hide facts from them. We'll make things public as the police does. You're right. There isn't much else to do, but we still need to talk about the tour. Indeed. And this is where we have control. I know what you plan to do with Daz, Rucker told me as we crossed paths just now. We shouldn't change topics just yet, though. Remember the two groups of deaths, the group of murders and suicides? Figured out something shocking tonight. The culprit for the group of murders? They were found. A week ago, Singe. What? And here's where it gets more bizarre. They have a watertight alibi. That excuses them from these suicides. They were a copycat killer, and they've admitted this openly. The true culprit is still at large. I see. But the police are still in the wrong. The suicides are not suicides at all. These conflicting MOs aren't an issue. We only have to focus on the suicides now. Does this make it easier on us? Unfortunately not. There's just too much missing here. No suicide note, no evidence, all of the victims being mentally fit. If it was a suicide, there would be evidence at the crime scene. Instead, we have almost nothing at all. The true culprit must be an expert. They can tamper with the crime scenes, they can leave no shred of evidence behind. Just who could it be? It's likely a cop, someone who's been trained in these things. It's possible. I have a theory, though. Something a little more bizarre than that. I don't have time for quantum mechanics. There has to be a logical reason for this. The murder started as our tour arrived. The killer must have a police background. Jade? Yes? Bring me Clace's security guard. I'll need to speak with him immediately. You mean? Yes. This point is very logical. Our own hired guard could be the killer. Alrighty, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this episode here, now that we're in Chapter 2, and I will see you all in the next episode. Have a good one.